Now, I trained in emotional freedom technique in 2021, and I can honestly say it's one of the most incredible modalities that I have had the pleasure in learning myself. And I have been using EFT with my own money blocks. Now, some of you may have come across tapping before. Tapping is another word or a description for EFT. And essentially all that tapping is it's using our fingertips. It enables us to tap on specific acupuncture points around the face and the hands, which I'm going to show with you in a second. And it allows us to tap on specific acupuncture points, which then allow us to emotionally tune into all of the limiting beliefs that we carry, all the negative experiences that we carry, and allow us to express them as we tap through those acupuncture points or those meridian points. Now, what that does is it enables us to access beliefs that sit in our unconscious minds. And really, it's the beliefs that sit in our unconscious mind that drive over 90% of all the decisions that we make every single day. Like, isn't that just amazing? That our body and our brain has this ability to keep us safe, to protect us, by reminding us of unconscious behaviors and beliefs that we've established all the way back to the age of pre-6. This is what we call the imprinting period. Now, there's actually a whole bunch of evidence to show that our belief and our behaviors around money specifically go even further back, like even into past generational beliefs. And so what tapping does is it reminds us of the power of the mind-body connection. There is so much power in this connection between what our body feels and what our mind stores, what our brain stores in connection with our money beliefs. And there are like some incredible world-class leaders such as Louise Hay, Dr. Bruce Lipton, lots of professionals, scientists who have a wealth of expansive knowledge around this wealth, mind, body connection. And really what I want you to start thinking about is what sits beyond these negative beliefs and these thoughts is the possibility of stepping into wealth. Because when we clear all of the resistance that is there for us, it opens up that possibility. And what tapping does is it heals emotions. It heals any of those powerful emotions. I'm not even going to say negative emotions, because emotions are there for a reason. We have to feel all emotion, not just some of them, not just the happy ones. Like we don't just want to feel joy and peace and harmony and pleasure and desire. We want to feel all emotions. Why? Because if we don't feel all the emotions, the body's just going to store them. What happens when the body stores negative emotions? It causes stress, it causes anxiety, fear, it can wrap us up in guilt, shame cycles. There's so many negative consequences of holding on to emotion. So tapping will allow you to be able to heal through those negative emotions, but still be able to actually feel them. And it's actually rooted in Chinese medicine. So in Chinese medicine, they talk about these kind of electrical systems where our energy flows through these electrical systems, and these electrical systems are known as different meridian points. So just like in acupuncture, we're using exactly the same, but we're not using needles, we're just tapping with our fingers. And in Western medicine, they actually often associate this as our fight or flight system, our fight or flight response. So when we tap, we actually disconnect all the thoughts and we turn on what we call our parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system allows us to create a really relaxed response. It tells the body, we're safe, you're okay. It's okay to feel this fear, you're safe. It's okay to feel anxious about this conversation around money, you're safe. So this is all about energy and clearing energy cycles, clearing those energy fields and your relationship with that energy. And the beauty of what I'm going to show you now is that you can also use this quite like conspicuously. So I have a real fear of flying. And I would say it's less of a fear now, but more of a, I still don't like the feeling of when the plane goes, The same as fairground rides. I just don't like them. So when I want a plane, I can sit with my hand in my lap and I can be very, very inconspicuously tapping on my hand. I don't do my head, I just tap around my hand. And often you'll see people doing this actually when they're flying, including air hostesses and pilots. I've seen pilots do this as well, actually, many, many years ago, before they closed off all the cockpit environments and the doors. And you can do this without anyone really knowing. I also teach this with my son, my eldest son, who's almost 11 now, and he will use this at school when he's feeling really anxious. So it's such an empowering little tool that you're going to learn now. So there are certain tapping points, and I'm going to drop a little image in your dashboard area so that you can have a look at this for yourself, but these are the most important ones. Okay, so there are kind of 8 main points. Now, normally what we do is we start with what we call the setup, and this is known as the karate chop. Yeah, we're not going to karate chop anyone, but this is where we start. And I'm going to show you the pattern in a second of what you would say, but we start on the karate chop. It doesn't matter what fingers you use. I tend to use 2 fingers, and you don't want to kind of go hell for leather. Like, you just gently, very gently tap. Doesn't matter what speed. You can do it slower. You can, you know, pace it up a little bit, but it's very, very gentle. So we're going to start on the setup point. This is when we start like a setup statement. So normally it would look like this. So even though I feel, enter negative comment, enter negative belief, even though I feel that you have to work hard to make money, I still love and accept myself. And this, I love and accept myself is kind of like the common saying in EFT. So if you don't know what to say, if you don't know what the positive statement should be, fill it with, I love and accept myself. So even though I feel really uncomfortable to double my prices, I love and accept myself. And some people say, I deeply love and accept myself. And that's what we call the setup statement. Now, the next point is we actually are going to go around the hands. Okay, so we're just literally going to tap the top of the thumb. So right at the top here, the top of the next finger. God, it's a good job I've had my nails done, isn't it? The top of each finger, all the way down to the bottom. And you can literally just do the tapping points just on the hand. That's absolutely fine. If you're sitting on a flight and you're getting a bit nervous, you can just use your hand. Even though I feel like the plane's going to crash, I deeply love and accept myself. Now, the other meridian points, we have one here on the back of the, like the top of the crown of the head. So not right at the front, just at the back. Okay. So we can just tap very gently, not like, not like we're scratching something out of our heads, just very, very gently on the top. And then we're going to go to the eyebrow. This is the second point. And it doesn't matter which side, but it's just here or here. Just very gently tapping. And I tend to just use these 2 fingers here. Some people do tapping on both sides. They tap both sides of the eyebrow. I don't like that because I can't see. I just like to do one. Then we're going to go to the side of the eye. So just here. Tap, 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 tap. Even though I feel anxious, I feel shame coming up around having all this debt, I love and accept myself. I'm going to go to the under the eye. If you imagine, you're going to go right dead center underneath the middle of your eye. Again, just very gently tap. And it may feel tender on some of these points, by the way. Don't worry about that. Under the eye. Then we're going to go under the nose, just here. And then we're going to go under the chin. Now, these 2 here are guilt and shame. So if you've got a lot of guilt and shame that comes up, you could literally just tap on those 2 points alone. The golden rule kind of here is that you should tap around 7 times on each of these points. Okay, and then you move on to the next one. So we've done head, eyebrow, side of eye, under the nose, on the chin. The next one we're going to go to is the collarbone. Now, some people do this on the wrong part of their collarbone. What you want to do is you want to kind of, I've got the wrong top on for this really. You want to lean forward. You know where you get this little bony bit that points out? You want to feel and find the bit that's just underneath that bone, and it's almost like an empty space, and it can sometimes feel quite tender. That's the point. And it's about 3/4 of the way in. So not up here, not in the center, around 3/4 of the way in. And that's where you want to tap. Doesn't matter which side. That's where you want to tap. That's the collarbone. This is all the kidney area. Okay. That's the collarbone. Now the next one is under the arm. And again, kind of where the top of your bra line sits. You want to tap just here. Just here. And you don't have to raise your hand in the air. Just keep it up like that. About around 7 taps. And then we go back to the setup. And then we can go around the fingers, back to the head, eyebrow, side of the eye. And the whole time that we're tapping, we're talking, okay? Even though I feel, enter the negative emotion, enter the limiting belief. We'll teach you how to find that in the program. I still deeply love and accept myself. Under the arm. Even though I feel anxious, I feel scared, I'm doubling my prices, I love and accept myself. And back on the hands. Okay, so just remember, if you go wrong, it doesn't matter. If you just do it on your hand, that's okay. But in an ideal world, you want to do a couple of rounds to completely get rid of that block. You want to start with the tapping point here, go around the hand, then go head, eyebrow, side of eye, under nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm. That's what we call like a set. That's a whole round of tapping. And you could do 2 or 3 rounds. And what you'll find is that that energy starts to be tapped away, moved away from the body. So when you first start doing it, you very likely will get quite emotional, and that's okay, because you're getting rid of the emotion away from the body. But I hope you've enjoyed your little introduction to EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and I will see you again very soon.